Mark DeRosa and Danny, as pitching matchups go, it doesn't get much better than what we've got here for this one.
Well, Matt, these are two of the best in the business. Two guys that throw a lot of strikes, and if their game is on, we should have a very low-scoring ball game with these two elite starting pitchers.
Major League Baseball on the Show is next. Max Scherzer is ready to go as he'll be on the mound for the Nationals. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Hey, Matty V, this ought to be a fun one to watch. This guy's been around the block for a while, but he's having a rock-solid season with a real good ERA. It'll be really interesting to see how he attacks his opposing lineup.
Here's Manny Machado now. He will lead this one off today.
Leading off the afternoon for San Diego, the third baseman, Manny Machado.
Now the first pitch.
First pitch, 107.
The windup and the 0-1. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike two. Here comes Scherzer on 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed, and the leadoff man is gone on strikes to start the afternoon.
Boy, that's the best pitch in baseball right there with two strikes. That elevated fastball. Every hitter thinks that, hey, they can do something with that, but most of the time, you get the result that you saw right there, a big swing and a miss, and another strikeout.
In at the plate is Jake Cronenworth. As he'll wait out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike one. Comes into play here at 273. 10 home runs and 32 driven in. 0-1 pitch on its way. Left side, but well foul. One out, nobody on. And he pulled the string a bit too sharply there on a curveball as it's down around the shoe tops.
You know, we'll see him work both sides of the plate with his curveball. Maybe not that far in, but he'll move that pitch around the zone to give it a different look.
And a fastball swung on and missed as he just reared back there, 2 away.
The main job of the number 1 and 2 hitters is to set the middle of the order up with an opportunity to do some damage. So when you strike both of them out, you're putting yourself in a pretty good position to make it through the teeth of the lineup without a whole lot of stress.
At the plate, Tommy Pham. Hit high and deep to right center. Center fielder giving chase. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. So not much happening here in the top half of the first. Now it'll be Washington's turn in a scoreless ball game. Yu Darvish gets the start for San Diego in this one. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Yu Darvish is what you look at when you're looking for an ace. Big, strong guy, came over from Japan, 95 to 97 miles an hour, all the way back from Tommy John surgery, has the curveball, the changeup, and the slider, will throw any pitch at any count. One of the top pitchers in the game, and you'll know early, if he's seeing a lot of swings and misses and strikeouts, it's going to be a long day for those guys swinging the bats.
From the stretch. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. And here's a swing and a miss as he falls behind 0-2.
That was a great hack right there. Timing was on point. Just sometimes you have bad bat barrel accuracy.
Checked his swing there. Did he go around? No, says the first base umpire. Ball 1. just off the end of the bat. It's a foul ball, and he'll stick around. Again, a 1-2. And it looked like the fastball got away from him there.
Wow, kind of an interesting pitch call there. The batter flailed at the pitch away on the previous one, so you'd think you'd go right back there, but instead they decided to come in. Make him prove he can adjust before you do.
The 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to third. Taken in by Machado. Throws in time, and that's out number 1.
Batting second.
Time now from our nation's capital to take a look at the Nats starting lineup. Danny, who stands out to you?
Well, I'm going to have to keep a close eye on Trey Turner. He was the catalyst for this ball club last month. He had an on-base percentage of over 400. And when you're doing that, you're really helping your team.
Juan Soto to the plate now as he lays off a fastball too low for ball 1. He's got the average of 285 here to start play, 10 home runs, and an even 40 RBIs. Way inside with that one, a pretty easy take there. So let's take a peek at the umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Ricky Holiday.
Hey, D-Row, you better be up there ready to swing with Ricky Holiday behind the plate, particularly on that high pitch.
Yeah, and I don't like that, Dan. As an offensive player, that's the one pitch that you almost can't get to with a power guy on the mound. I'm okay with you giving a little bit on the corners. When you start giving north, it makes it super tough on the hitters.
Bases are empty, 1 man out. Three balls and a strike to the Nationals left fielder.
They know the threat this guy poses at the plate. I know it's a 3-1 in this situation right here, but I cannot believe for the life of me this pitcher is going to come anywhere near the middle of the zone.
The 3-1 pitch. And he fouls this one off. The 3-2 pitch. And he missed with that one. It's ball 4. A 1-out walk here in the home first.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving on up where he can really hurt you.
Striding in now for the Nats, Alex Avila. And you see that average below the dreaded Mendoza line. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
Now a swing and a miss, and things are not looking real promising here. Down 0-2.
Love that pitch. As long as you actually get it inside like he did right there, the cutter inside is a very effective pitch.
Swing and a miss on the fastball that time. Out number 2.
Batting fourth.
Victor Robles digging in now.
Victor Robles.
First delivery to him. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. Below the zone, a swing and a miss.
Hey, down in the count 0-2, I'd like to see a little choke and poke right here. Maybe work it up the middle or opposite field with 2 strikes.
Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And the inning goes away in unceremonious fashion on a swing and a miss at a ball way outside the strike zone. It's quite possible the humidity has finally taken its toll on some of the fans. It's back to the nation's capital after this. And it'll be the cleanup spot for the Padres, Victor Caratini. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. Line shot to first, and there's one away.
Batting first, the first baseman.
Time for a look at the curly W on D. And let's take a look at Trey Turner up the chute. This is a guy that, when asked to go to center field not too long ago, looked like that was going to be the spot for him. Now he's asked to move to the middle infield, back to his position at North Carolina State, and he can pick and grin, and he has got some of the quickest feet in the game.
First baseman Eric Hosmer is in. Ball one to start the at-bat. The 1-0. Still looking for our first hit in the ballgame. Fouled off again, and now he's in a 1-2 hole. Into the windup and the pitch. There's a curveball, but it misses well out of the zone. Three and two now.
Looked like he tried to elevate a fastball on that 2-2 pitch there, but kind of overdid it. With a pitch that high, it's pretty easy to lay off if you're the hitter.
No score here as we play inning number 2. Skied in the air to straightaway left. And 2 quick outs here in the second.
Batting 6, the second baseman, Tucupita Marcano.
Next to the plate for the Padres, Tucupita Marcano. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Count 1-0.
Now the 1-0.
2-0.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Outside, 3-0 now.
And how about the uncommon patience for the rookie in a big spot right here? These have been some tough pitches to lay off.
And that misses for ball 4, and the Friars are going to have themselves a 2-out base runner.
Man, you hate to give up a 2-out walk to anybody, but especially to a speed demon like him. Good chance he's running here, and good luck trying to stop him.
2 down with a runner at first, and up next is Ha-Seong Kim. Scherzer comes set. Here it comes. And here's a fastball called for strike 1.
With that base running threat on first base, man, does that change the pitcher's whole mentality. This guy at the plate should assume nothing but heaters coming right at him.
And that misses 1-1.
I wonder if that call not going his way right there has anything to do with walking the last guy. We all know umpires don't give you much on the corners if you're not throwing strikes consistently.
The 1-1.
Count is 2-1.
A runner on first with 2 away. Here's a big swing and a miss on the fastball. 2-2. And that misses there, so he runs the count full now.
Good spot for an RBI. Put the ball in play with the runner in motion. He could score all the way from first.
And it's fouled away. Payoff pitch one more time. Again, he sends it out of play. Payoff pitch one more time. Fouled off. Making him work out there. The 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And he struck him out, so he was forced to make 9 pitches that at-bat, but he'll take it as the inning is over. Padres leave one. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. No score. Last half of the 2nd set to go, and that'll give way to the veteran second baseman, Starlin Castro.
Starlin Castro.
He's set. Here it comes. And that misses for ball 1. And now pitch on the way. Hammered the other way to deep right field. Racing back the right fielder. And this ball is gone. No chance to make a play on that one. It's a solo home run off the bat of Starlin Castro. 4th home run for him on the season. As the Nationals strike first, it's 1-0.
Hey, listen, there's an old adage in baseball that solo home runs won't kill you. This is one of the top hitters in that lineup. So a home run, a solo home run right here is not the end of the world.
Batting 6th, the first baseman, Ryan.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman now, as he'll take a look at ball 1. He comes in with that average down in the 240s. 9 homers, and he's driven in 24. Count even at 1-1 to the Nationals' first baseman.
Hey, if he's going to execute that curveball, and that's the first one of the day, if he's going to execute it like that, be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a big pitch for him today.
A ball and 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Base is empty here with nobody out. Swung on and missed. Really fooled him that time for the first out.
Roger.
So next to hit is Monty Rogers. From the stretch, here's the pitch.
Nope. That's inside.
Hey, a curveball that kind of backed up on him right there. Might have popped out of his hand just a little bit earlier than he intended.
1 out, nobody on. Strike taken as that one catches the outer part of the plate. The 1-1 home. Outside and low that time. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And they're working the outer half here, but that one's wide for ball 3. Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are 2 gone.
This tells me a lot about this guy. He's done a real nice job bouncing back from that home run to strike out the next 2 guys. Sometimes you're going to get taken deep, but it's all about how you respond that really matters.
Standing in now, Yan Gomes, as he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike one. He'll try to make something happen with 2 gone in the bottom of the second. The 0-1 delivery, and a pitch in the dirt as he lays off. It's 1-1. 2 out, nobody on. Saw his eyes light up that time, but he swung at a bad one there.
Hey, I got to commend him a little bit. Leadoff homer, and now he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning without any further damage.
Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue. The 1-2 offering looked like a slider that time, but it's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him, and the inning is over. Nats on the board first, courtesy of the solo home run. We've played 2. It's now 1-0 Washington. Back alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as Will Myers is set to lead things off. Here's the first pitch. As Scherzer's able to move ahead of him with strike one. Myers is very likely going to be an all-star this year, at least according to the vote totals. He came into today leading all center fielders in the league.
Hey, let's give a round of applause to the fans for voting this guy first at his position right now. He is not what comes to mind when you think all-star, but you know what? Check the numbers right now in the first half. He has been a dominant player. This is well-deserved.
A 1-2 count to Will Myers. Here comes the 1-2. Is a swing and a miss. That's strike 3. One out now in the San Diego third, and the pitcher bats next. That'll be Yu Darvish. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. There's the cut fastball, but it's low, 1-0. Padres still with the big goose egg in the hit column thus far. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Right fielder is on the run, and a great diving effort there, but it'll just tip off his glove, and it's a base hit.
Now batting, third baseman, Manny Machado.
And in steps Manny Machado as he'll look at a changeup that drops below the knees for ball 1. 0 for 1 here in the early going. Here's the 1-0.
Clearly working the bottom of the zone, trying to get a ground ball for a double play.
Too tight with that one. 3-0. Runners on first with 1 down. That's on the outer edge, 3-1.
You could bet he wants that one back at the plate right now. That's a pitch you normally see a guy drive if he has the right approach going.
And this misses for ball 4. The second walk he surrendered here in the first 3 innings.
Man, the pitcher's wondering how he didn't get that call. Busted him inside on a 3-1 count, and the ump thought it was just a tad off the plate. Tough to get the benefit of the doubt from the umpire when you fall behind in a count like that, though.
first pitch on the way as Scherzer's able to move ahead of him with strike one.
Hey, great arm action on that changeup right there. You come up to the plate with runners in scoring position, you're going to be super aggressive. I don't fault that guy for swinging through.
Ready with the 0-1 pitch. Fouled away.
It's going to be back to some serious tee work if he can't put that pitch in play right in his wheelhouse.
Bouncer to the left side. To second for one, but one's all they were ever going to get, and the inning will continue.
Definitely a risky and aggressive play for the pitcher there, but he made it work out. They've practiced plays like that a lot in spring training, so it paid off this time.
Striding in is Tommy Pham, trying to bring in the tying run from third here. Trying to hang a 0. Here's the pitch. A ball and no strikes. And that's off the plate and high. 2-0 now.
Like to see him be looking to the opposite field with this next swing. Pitcher's trying to work you away.
Three and 0 now.
Not a good spot to be in right now. A pitcher's falling behind in the count with a guy up that hits really well with runners in scoring position.
Runners at the corners, 2 men out. Three and 1 to the Padres left fielder.
Hey, usually the second time through the order you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating, feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
And a changeup couldn't get him to bite, and it's ball 4.
And that's 2 free passes in the third inning alone. So you have to wonder if maybe it's something mechanical or if it's just psychological. Got to get back on track here.
Digging in, the switch hitter, Victor Caratini. A potential tying run for him at third base. First pitch on its way. Strike called. Tough to do much with that one.
So important getting ahead with the bases loaded. Already a difficult situation, so you don't want to make it any harder by falling behind in the count.
Comes set, the 0-1.
1-1.
He's already walked 2 in this inning already. This guy just can't seem to find the strike zone.
And it's 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bases are loaded here, 2 down. And he connects with it. This one's hit deep out to left center field. Gone! It's a grand slam. So 1 swing, and he unloads the bases on that one. 7 home runs for him on the year now, and the Padres have made it a 4-1 game.
They were so close to getting out of this mess. 2 outs, 2 strikes, but then the grand slam gave him something could handle, and he pays for it dearly.
Eric Hosmer to the plate now.
The first baseman.
As the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. And that's a called strike at the letters, though that looked high from here. It's 0-2 now.
Pretty unusual that you see a 5-0 hitter take 2 strikes in a row. Typically, those are some of the most aggressive batters in the lineup.
Line to the right side. Rogers is there, and he puts it away to stop the bleeding. But the damage was done right here as you get another look at the grand slam home run. We played 2.5. It's now 4-1 Friars.
We're back now as the Nationals ready to bat in the third inning. And as they do, it's a good time to discuss their offense, which has been a real source of pride for this club. Entering the day, they're among the best teams in the league in avoiding the strikeout. I asked one coach about that earlier, and he said it's not something they harp on too much with the players, but they do have a lineup full of guys who want to compete on every pitch and who have great bat-to-ball skills. He added, not every team is so lucky to have that kind of makeup. Guys?
All right, thanks, Heidi.
Leading up for the
Now to the
Nationals,
plate, the pitcher, Max Scherzer. He'll begin things here against Yu Darvish.
Hey, Matty, they need to get some offense going in this one. Getting a run back in this inning, give them a little bit of confidence that they can keep up in this game.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and two to the Nationals pitcher.
Man, this has been a game filled of a lot of swings and misses. Not very many confident swings, and this team up there, they'd swing at a butterfly right now if it flew in front of the plate. Lots of swings, lots of misses, a lot of ugly at-bats for this team right now.
So he racks up the swinging strikeout on the breaking ball. Max Scherzer sent packing to begin the bottom of the inning.
Turner.
Here now is Trey Turner. 0-1 the count. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. A 1-1 count to the Nationals leadoff batter. Turner has what you'd call elite speed. His legs are a big part of his game on both sides of the scorecard.
This is one tool, Matty, I know nothing about. I used to get to first base, hand my batting gloves to the first base coach, give daps to the first baseman and be like, yo, what's up? This guy gets on first base and he's thinking about second and third.
3-1 to the Nationals shortstop.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
The 3-1.
Wow, that's 4 straight Ks. He's knocking them down. He's looking for number 5 right here. You can tell this guy on the mound, he is pitching with a whole lot of confidence in this one.
Now the 3-2 pitch. And he takes ball 4, so he's on. And as you know, that often means the steal could be in order here.
The left fielder, number 22.
So here is Juan Soto. He drew a base on balls his first time up. Now a throw over and a dive, but he's back in there. And another throw over, and he just manages to get his hand in. Here's the first pitch to him. Turner's on his horse on his way to second. Pitch outside, the throw. He's in there easily as the throw bounces on the way down. Four to one's our score here in inning number 3. Outside with the cut fastball there, and it's a 2-ball count.
Clearly staying away from him in this at-bat with that runner in scoring position tells me they're trying to force him to reach for something and maybe roll over on it.
Darvish delivers the 2-0. Good swing, just got to try and straighten that one out. And he fouls this one off. In the dirt here, and he's going to make it up to third here as he advances on the wild pitch.
That can be a tough read as a runner on second to see if the ball has gotten away enough to move to third. You have to be sure you can make it. He was there, and now he's only 90 feet away.
One out and a runner on third. Hit on the ground to short. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first is in time, but meanwhile the runner is in to score.
That grounder was hard hit, and sometimes the runner at third will have to hold on a ball like that, but he was off on contact, and they opted to take the out at first instead.
Here's the catcher, Alex Avila, looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat.
Yeah, and he didn't put up much of a fight either, Matty. Gotta find a way. Can't go down 3 pitches. I don't care if you're staring at him or swinging at him. You have to find a way to make this pitcher work a little bit harder.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And it's a called strike to even the count at 1.
Get the chainsaw out today, boys. If he's going to throw back-to-back cutters like that, we are going to have some guys getting some wood blown up in their hands.
A ball and 2 strikes now.
1 and 2.
An even 2-2 count to the Nationals catcher.
Hey, they tried to tie him up on that last pitch, so I like that they went away with this one. The execution didn't work, but I like the idea behind it.
Here now the 2-2 is taken high, but for a called strike 3. So they scratch across a run on no hits, no errors, and no one left on. 3 innings complete. It's the Padres 4 and the Nationals 2. And back in our nation's capital, before we get too much further on the field, let's check in with Heidi.
Matt, I talked with San Diego's manager during the inning break about the Padres' offensive production to this point. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. They've already worked out 3 walks, so he feels as though that kind of willingness to let the opposition work themselves into trouble will continue to result in good things for them on the scoreboard.
Thank you, Heidi. Digging in now for San Diego, Tucupita Marcano. And Dan, I'm sure the starter on the mound would like to hit the rewind button on that last inning.
Oh, no doubt about that, Mac. That was a really rocky frame, but clearly not enough to chase him from this game. We'll see if he's still shaking a bit or if he's able to put this behind him.
First offering.
Well, it's been a rough one so far. 4 runs through 3 innings. It's about time to get that pitch count down or he won't be out here very long.
The pitch. Base hit, line drive into the corner. Legs churning, he's headed for second. And he will get in there with his first big league hit, a double. You can relate, Dan, so what's going through the pitcher's mind right now?
Well, Matt, as we take a look at his line here, he might not know all the specifics, but he knows he hasn't been pitching all that well in this one. Sometimes it happens. You start a game and never completely get into that rhythm. Seems to be the case here.
The batter will be Ha-Seong Kim, as the first pitch to him is a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball 1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Fires in a strike this time to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Hey, I don't mind that batter taking that strike right there. He's walked a couple people early in this game. Got to find out if he can find the zone. If he wants to walk them all in, we'll take it.
The 1-1.
It's one thing to get hit around, but it's far worse when you're getting yourself into trouble by not throwing strikes. Every pitcher's been there, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating or unacceptable.
Here's a breaking ball, but it doesn't quite find the strike zone.
Great game plan so far by this offense. They're not chasing any of those breaking balls out of the zone.
And it's fouled away.
Not surprised he's laid on a heater right there. Just saw an off-speed pitch. Wanted to stay back a little bit too long.
Working for the punch out and the offering down the first baseline, but this will get foul, so they'll do it again. 3-2. The payoff pitch one more time is a wave and a miss. He struck him out.
This is where a strikeout pitcher has such a big advantage. Runner on second and no outs. It's definitely a strikeout situation in order to keep that runner from getting to third with less than 2 outs. When you can do it, it changes the whole strategy of the inning. Even a ground ball to the right side makes this a lot more dangerous situation.
Here's Will Myers as he will take a look at strike 1 on a fastball right down the pipe. The 0-1.
He wasn't even close to swinging right there. That was a stone cold take.
Here comes the 1-2.
Gonna need to make a little bit of an adjustment with his slider release and at least tempt the hitter that it's gonna be a strike.
Pickoff move to second, and he'll dive back in safely. 4 runs, only 3 hits, no errors in the ballgame for the Padres. And this one's in the dirt. Throw goes over to third, and he's crawled out on a close play at third. Scherzer gets the sign with the payoff pitch. And he'll try to hold up in time, but to no avail as he went around, and the inning is over. 1 hit in the inning, but that gets erased. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. The Padres lead it 4-2. Just about set to go for the last of the 4th. But before we do that, here's Heidi Watney.
Thanks, Matt. I talked with Nationals manager Dave Martinez between innings, specifically about his club's offense to this point. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. It's still pretty early in the game, but they've seen a lot of pitches already, and he thinks the 2 runs they've pushed across so far is just the beginning, given the quality of the at-bats they're putting together.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. Ready to go in the bottom of the 4th. And that'll bring up the outfielder, Victor Robles.
The center fielder, Victor Robles.
He's set and the pitch. And he'll watch one miss up and away for a ball. 1-0.
Ball 1, no strike.
Lifted into center field. Myers is under it. 1 away.
Now batting, the second baseman, Starlin Castro.
At the plate now is Starlin Castro. Off to a fine start in this one after launching a homer his first time up. The pitch.
off the plate, ball one.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
Smoked on the ground up the middle, and that'll find its way into center field for a one-out hit.
There's a hard hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dan. Sent it back right where it came from.
So now to the plate, Ryan Zimmerman, as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball one. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. That's inside. 2-0.
Well, both of those balls have been inside, so if I'm hitting, I'm looking for something I can get my arms extended on. Probably won't come back inside for a third time.
Pulled high in the air out to left field. Pham is there to put it away, and the runner will be forced to retreat back to first.
Now batting, right fielder, Monty Rogers.
And now for Washington, Monty Rogers struck out in his last trip to the plate. He's ready. Here's the first pitch as he puts it on the ground to third. On to second for the force out, and the side is retired. So it's no runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left. We played 4 full. It's the Padres 4 and the Nationals 2. All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And the pitcher bats next. That'll be Yu Darvish. First pitch on its way. Looked like he tried to pull it there, but he swings right through the fastball.
Well, he's still out there to start the 5th inning, but it's been a real grind of a start for him. The pitch count is much higher than he'd like it to be, so it's hard to imagine him working really deep into this game.
Swing and a miss as he pulls the top hand over. It's 0-2. And the Padres pitcher behind with a 1-2 count.
Man, that's a good take there on that 0-2 fastball. Just missed. He must have a really good eye at the plate.
Here comes the 1-2. Now a swing and a fly ball. And that will end up a foul ball. Here he comes again, 1-2. Boy, good cutting action to that pitch as that's the first out of the inning.
I'll tell you, he's showing no signs of tiring right now. Still looks razor sharp from what I can tell, so I think he might last a while longer if he can keep this up.
To the plate now, Manny Machado. As he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1. It was a walk in his last trip. The 1-0 is looked at off the plate for a ball.
This offense is absolutely feasting on these count leverage situations. If he's going to have any chance of feeling good about his effort tonight, this pitcher has got to get back in the strike zone.
2-1 after the foul ball there. And ooh, he's really given some leeway on the outside edge here. 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a crucial count for both pitcher and hitter. So, Dan, what was your approach on the mound in that count? Do you still pitch for the strikeout here?
Action pitch right here, 2-2. The last thing you want to do is to fall behind the count 3-2.
Fouled off. Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are 2 gone.
He's really on a roll right now on the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts to wrap up the last inning, and now he started this frame with the same story. 4 straight strikeouts in all.
At the plate now, Jake Cronenworth. Pulled toward right center field. Robles is on his horse. He makes the catch. What a play on the run to end the inning. Padres down in order, but they still lead this one 4-2. Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and standing in is the veteran third baseman, Yan Gomes.
Third baseman, Yan Gomes.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Yes, he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a looper to left. Cronenworth onto the grass, and he tracks it down. Nice play for the first out.
31. Max Scherzer.
Luis Garcia will come on as a pinch hitter to try and make an impact with 1 away. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch, as Darvish will jump ahead of him here with strike 1. Two runs on 2 hits, and no errors so far for the Nationals. And he misses with it, 1-1.
Boy, that's one of the toughest pitches to lay off. A hard breaking ball at the back foot. Tough take on a terrific pitch.
The 1-1 home.
Although he doesn't use that pitch too much, if he's able to steal some strikes early in the count, could be something they have to think about.
Swing and a liner. But quick hands over there at third as he takes it for the second out.
Now batting, the shortstop, Trey Turner.
Back to the top of the order now, and that'll bring up one of the fastest players in all the land, Trey Turner. First pitch on the way. Two out, nobody on. And it's 1-1.
Hey, a 2-out walk right here would be the tying run to the plate. Even though it's early on, you got a guy on deck that has a lot of pop.
Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Popped him up. And Hosmer will just look this one in, and the inning is over. Nationals gone in order. They trail it here 4-2. Austin Voth takes over to start the 6th inning on the mound. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and that'll bring forth the veteran outfielder, Tommy Pham. Here's the first pitch to him. Action now in the Washington bullpen as a right-hander begins to get loose. Pham with an even 1-1 count now. Liner in there for a base hit.
Hey, guys, right there. You look for weaknesses. Can a guy come in? Can he command in? Obviously not the case in this situation. He went to the well outside half 3 times, and eventually the batter made a nice adjustment.
Victor Caratini stands in again, and his home run earlier has accounted for all of their runs so far in this one. First pitch of the AB on its way. Strike taken to throw. And it skips in as he steals the bag easily. Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1. A ball and 2 strikes. Fouled away. And another foul ball. Now another 1-2. This is driven to right, and no doubt about it, that one's way out of here. A 2-run blast to straightaway right field, his second home run of the game as they open it up to 6-2 now.
Well, this is something you don't see every day. It had the distance the second it left the bat, but it was anybody's guess whether it was going to be fair or foul. That is, until it clanked off the top of the foul pole. No question or controversy now. That's an impressive homer.
Into the box now, Eric Hosmer, as the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. No outs, nobody on. High in the air and drifting out to shallow center. Robles waits on it. 1 away. So they do pick up the out here, but with 6 runs home against them already, it's not going to help out the team ERA by any stretch of the imagination. And as you see, they rank down near the bottom of the NL in that department. Digging in will be Tucupita Marcano. It was a 2-bagger for him in his last at-bat.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit last time up. Looked for it up in the zone and didn't miss it. Those are the pitches you only get maybe once an AB, maybe once a game, maybe once a week. So he certainly capitalized on it last time.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Still only 1 out in the inning. And he fouls this one off. The 1-2. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Soto will range to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the 2nd out of the inning.
The right fielder, number 7, Ha-Seong Kim.
Ready now is Ha-Seong Kim. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. First offering on its way.
From an offensive standpoint, this is where you got to push the throttle right here. You've had a couple hits in the inning. You got a 1-0 count leverage. Let's see if he can gap something.
And the pitch. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here.
Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to go a little bit further outside the zone. 3 foul balls in a row. He wants to get a swing and a miss on this next pitch.
Here's another 1-2. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His 3rd punch out of the game. The Padres get a couple of runs in the inning on the 2-run home run. Bottom of the 6th is straight ahead. It's the Padres 6 and the Nationals 2. Here now is Juan Soto. He'll start things out in the 6th for a lineup that really hasn't found its groove in this one.
Yeah, let's see if he can work a walk, maybe a knock, ground ball with eyes, something. Catch a gap to get this offense going. 2 hits as a team can start demoralizing your confidence. But if he can get on, start some traffic in motion, we might have something.
First pitch of the AB now.
Ball, that's out.
Hey, every ball club has that spark plug guy, and this is the guy right here. He usually ignites a lot of productive innings.
The 1-0. Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. The 1-1 home. Now a ball swung on and heading for the stands in right, and that'll move the count to 1-2 now. Here's the pitch. A bouncer to the left side, and that's through for a base hit. Make him 1 for 2 in this one. So the leadoff hitter in the inning reaches safely for the Nationals. But fortunately, he'll hold on at first with just a single.
Now batting, catcher.
Boy, Dero, the game of baseball has changed. There's so much velocity in the game. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that he smoked the other way.
Yeah, you have to keep your front shoulder tucked right there. You have to honor. When a guy's throwing that hard, 96 miles an hour, you have to honor that fastball and try and work it the other way to keep you on the off speed.
Alex Avila stands in for the 3rd time now as he takes a look at a ball. It's 1-0. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. The 1-0.
2 balls, no strikes.
Got to believe the pitcher's going to trust his defense right here. Look for something down in his zone to induce a ground ball double play.
And it's fouled away. Pitch on its way to Avila. In there, and it's even now, 2-2. Fouled off. Trying to strike him out for the 3rd time. Got him. And that's the 3rd time we've written a K next to his name in this one.
No hitter is ever going to feel good about taking the hat trick with 3 strikeouts in a game, but I will say he's not the first guy to have a terrible game against my man on the mound. And you know what? He won't be the last. We all know he's one of the best in the business for a reason.
In now, Victor Robles, as Darvish will jump ahead of him here with strike one. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. The 0-1. Little tardy on that swing as it's well wide of first. Runner at first here, 1 man out. A swing and a miss for out number 2, and a ball he had no chance of making contact with. That's back-to-back strikeouts now as they've been unable to advance that leadoff single into scoring position.
Yeah, clearly no problems working out of the stretch right now, Matt. He's taking control of this inning after giving up that hit. Now we'll see if he can finish it off strong as well.
Here's Starlin Castro as the first pitch to him is taken low and away for ball 1. 2 hits in 2 trips for him thus far. And this winds up inside for a ball. 2-0 now. Comes set. Now the pitch. This one's blooped out toward right center field. Here comes the right fielder. He gets there to make the play, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Washington. They still trail here. It's 6-2. Seventh inning ready to roll, and standing in is the veteran outfielder Will Myers. First offering. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. And that finds the target. 0-2 now.
Yeah, this is straight survival mode. Down 0-2. The numbers are definitely not with the batter here.
That one doesn't even sniff the zone, missing very high. One-two is the cut fastball, but he holds back. 2-2. And he struck out again. That's the 3rd time he's gone down on strikes in this one.
That's the 3rd time in this game he's gone down on strikes. Not the game he was hoping to have when he was taking batting practice, but at least his guys are ahead.
Stepping in now, Darvish. As the first pitch here's a bit high, it's ball 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And a fastball that's about off the radar screen there. It's 2-0.
Can't fall behind against a pitcher. Need to minimize pitch count against the easy outs, and this is certainly one of them.
Too tight with that one. 3-0.
It's amazing how guys can lose focus sometimes when the weaker hitters come up, especially the pitchers. You got to stay on the attack and minimize pitches and get these guys out in a hurry.
Pitch on the way. Heading out towards shallow right. Rogers in a few steps as he takes it. 2 down.
The third baseman, number 13, Manny Machado.
So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Manny Machado. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, but it was a good changeup, Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for him to try and stay back a little bit more. Let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
Now the first pitch. as he'll try to hold back on the swing, but he went around for the first strike. Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2.
You're lucky if you get one pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes, down.
2 out, nobody on. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Robles waits on it. And he's got it for the final out of the frame. 3 up, 3 down for San Diego. They lead it 6-2. Nabil Crismatt gets the call from the pen to take the ball for the home 7th. So now to the plate, Ryan Zimmerman. He comes in 0 for 2 thus far.
The first baseman, Ryan Zimmerman.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball. Looks like double-barreled action now in the San Diego bullpen as they get a lefty and a right-hander up to throw. A ball and a strike.
That's the exact spot to lean on as a reliever. As a hitter, you just have to tip your cap and look for the next one.
From the windup, the 1-1 pitch.
Ball, that pitch is out.
Lifted down the line in left. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. Here now the 2-2. Timing just to tick off there as this one's fouled off to the right. Now another 2-2.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
And this is swung on and missed by Zimmerman as he set down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
That swing tells me he was really trying to get a pitch out front and rip it down the line, but that wasn't a great pitch to do it on. It's really not the best 2-strike approach either.
Standing in now, Monty Rogers, as he will take a look at a fastball in there as that strike zone expands just a little. It's 0-1. 0 for 2 for him to this point. The windup and the 0-1.
Yeah, you could tell he was ready for another fastball, but the pitcher went to breaking ball, and the hitter just fouls that one off.
Lays off that time, and it's 1-2. And it's another K. So back-to-back strikeout victims to start this relief outing.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
At the plate, Yan Gomes. A ball and no strikes. No hits to this point. And a good heater as he just watches this baby. A ball and a strike. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Well off the plate with the change of pace. That's ball 2. The 2-1 home.
Ball, action time.
A diving effort here as he gets a glove on it. But they'll still manage to get the out on the force, and with that fine play, the inning comes to an end. Starting to run out of innings here as they are unable to cut into the deficit. We'll look ahead to inning number 8 now. It's the Padres 6 and the Nationals 2. Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Tanner Rainey will come on to pitch now as he'll move into the 8th spot in the lineup on the double switch here. Hernan Perez will also come on now as he'll move into the pitcher's number 9 hold in the order here on that double switch. All set for the start of the inning, and coming forward now is the shortstop, Jake Cronenworth. The pitch. As he'll watch one miss down and in for a ball, 1-0. Fastball at 96 on the radar gun, and it's 1-1.
They teach pitchers to keep the ball down, but if you can locate upstairs like that, it really gives you the ability to mess with the eye level of the batter.
And a changeup here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. Padres shortstop ahead with a 3-ball 1-strike count. Tommy Pham will be next. The 3-1 pitch. Full count now, 3-2. Now the payoff pitch home. Did well just to make contact there as he spoils off a good changeup. He'll try it again, 3-2. And a good take there will net him a base runner as it's ball 4 now to start the 8th inning.
Well, when you go with the slider there in a full count, you're hoping that the hitter is thinking fastball and swings through it. Didn't work out that way, though. He lays off and gets the free pass.
Next, here is Tommy Pham. A hit and 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. Comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch.
1-0.
Changeup laid off down around the shins.
Perfect time for a mound visit right here. Just give him a breather, a chance to collect himself and get back to work.
The 1-0 home is laid off, but in there for strike 1. Now the Nats are going to get a left-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. One and one, here it comes. There's a fastball on the inner third taken for a strike. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. The next 1-2 pitch. And a slider runs away from him there, and the count levels at 2-2. Well above the letters with the fastball that time.
These last two guys are making him work quite a bit out there. Both have been long at bats, and all in all, he's had to make 13 throws just to them so far.
Now a move over to first, but the runner's back easily. Full count here. Here comes the pitch. Well hit to right. But this is going to land foul, so they'll tee it up again, 3-2. Ready now with the payoff pitch. And he can only battle for so long as he's finally set down here after an 8-pitch at-bat.
Flat out locked him up with the changeup right there. Usually you're trying for a swing and miss when you throw that pitch in a 2-strike count, but clearly he wasn't looking for it, so it's a backwards K for him.
Victor Caratini coming to the plate again as we look back at his 2 home runs in the game so far, the most recent back in the 6th inning. First pitch coming. Here it is. Strike called. Now the throw down. It skips in and he's safe. Close play, but he's in there. Runner at second here with 1 man out. Here's a fastball that crowds him a bit, and it's 1-1. Into center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Cronenworth isn't stopping. Here he comes to the plate. Safe at the plate. And the lead is now 7-2.
Yeah, now they're looking at a 5-run deficit, and that doesn't bode very well for them, especially considering that they've only been able to scratch a couple of runs across the entire game. If this isn't the end, they can definitely see it from here.
To the plate now, Eric Hosmer. As a good changeup will get him to commit too early, and it's strike 1. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Comes set, and the 0-1. A line shot to third base.
Now that's second baseman, Tucupita Marcano.
Next to hit, Tucupita Marcano. It was a flyout for him in his last trip. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. As he takes a cold strike at the knees, it's 0-1.
Well, if you could throw it for a strike consistently, a first pitch changeup is effective. Hitters are almost never looking for it.
Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1. Two and one.
Oh, that's a tough call for Blue right there. Either way you call it, somebody doesn't like it. But hey, that's the life of an umpire.
And it looked like the fastball got away from him there.
Call didn't go his way on 2-1, but it's important here on 3-1 to still make a quality pitch. You have to have the mindset that you're still the one in the driver's seat.
Good fastball as he gets the swing and a miss.
I can't imagine in a hitter's meeting today that's the pitch they want to attack. Plus velocity up and in. It's going to be too tough to get the barrel to that pitch today.
2 out with the man at first. And this pitch misses for ball 4. So that's going to move a runner into scoring position now with 2 away.
Right about now, the manager's questioning his decision to bring this guy in. If you can't trust a reliever to throw strikes, you can't trust him at all. We'll see if he comes to get him sooner than later.
Next to stand in is Ha-Seong Kim. He went down on strikes last time up. First offering on its way. Fastball just misses. That's ball 1.
I'll tell you, it's a helpless feeling for a manager or a pitching coach when your pitchers are having a really hard time throwing strikes. What are you supposed to do other than keep trying new guys until someone starts attacking the zone?
That hole getting a little deeper now. It's 2-0.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot he's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Hard hit ball to second. Gloved by Castro. Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the side is retired. Friars forced to settle for just the 1. Not too many more shots left. Home half of the 8th coming up. Padres lead it 7-2. Now to bat, Hernan Perez. And he's getting his first plate appearance here in the 8th after entering off the bench just a little bit ago. Here's the pitch. And he swings through a fastball and doesn't catch up with it. It's 0-1. Action now in the Padre bullpen as it looks like a right-hander's getting loose out there. Ball 1. One and two now as that one's fouled off. Into the windup and the pitch.
That's a ball.
I know he missed with a fastball right there, but this guy's arsenal, you can't figure out what he's trying to do. He's got a lot of different directions he could go in right here.
And he lays off, so it's full now, 3-2.
It'd be great right here if he was able to work himself on base. You got the leadoff hitter on deck, and you know the middle of the order's coming up right behind him.
Grounded back up the middle. And that'll get on by into center field for a leadoff single.
Hey, not a bad pitch right there. Off-speed pitch down in the zone. You thought he would set that up pretty well. The previous pitch was a real good fastball up.
Yeah, I think the hitter was sitting all over that one, Dan. I really do. He saw that fastball up for show. I think he thought to himself, here comes the off-speed.
The speedy Trey Turner digs in now as he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball 1. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. And he'll try to check his swing here, but he'll have no such luck. It's strike 1. Swing and a flare down the line. Here comes the right fielder. In there, a base hit. He'll hold at second, and there are 2 aboard now.
Well, that's what's so disappointing as a pitcher, D-Row. You make a really good pitch, and yet this guy's so big and so strong, he's able to muscle it into right field for a base hit.
Yeah, you hand your batting gloves to the first base coach right there, and you thank your lucky stars. That's a nice AB.
At the plate now, Juan Soto.
That's a ball.
And a ball 1-0. He's 1 for 2 in this one. The 1-0 home. And there's a line drive base hit to left field. And no sense risking anything here as the bases will be loaded now with still nobody out.
Boy, D-Row, we're looking at a big inning right here with that single. Bases are loaded, yet no runs have scored in this inning.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that pitcher wants you to think. You have to eliminate the noise, Dan. Just try and drive in the guy from third base. Don't put pressure on yourself that you have to get everyone in with one swing of the bat. Pass the baton and keep the line moving.
Craig Stammen will come on now, and he'll slide into the 7 spot in the lineup following the double switch. Jurickson Profar is into the ball game as well as he'll slide into the pitcher spot, hitting 9th now on the double switch. So now to the plate, Alex Avila. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Swing and a miss. A little too anxious there. 1-1.
Boy, the Nationals could use a big hit right here. They really haven't been able to do much all game long. This would be a great time to get something going.
The 1-1 pitch. And it's 1-2.
He knows full well he's sitting on a hat trick right here. All he's trying to do is avoid the golden sombrero.
Both teams with 6 hits so far. 2-2.
Outside.
The 2-2 gets him swinging. He struck him out.
Center fielder, number 16.
And now here is Victor Robles looking to cut into that big deficit they've got in front of them. Now the first pitch. Now a half swing here as he wanted to pull it back, but he does so too late. It's strike one. From the stretch. And a slider is way low, but a good job there to knock this one down. The 1-1 is a slider taken for a ball.
Hey, after those two breaking balls missed, you have to be sitting on a fastball right here.
Now a swing, but not much behind it as this is lifted into shallow center. And that's in there, base hit. And not in time as the run scores. And they'll hold that runner at third, so everyone moves up and they remain loaded here with still only one gone. Stepping in next, Starlin Castro. He flew out in his last AB.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd like a base hit of some sort right here, Matty. But hey, you know what? Another fly out wouldn't be all that bad. If he can get it deep enough, he should be able to drive in a nice run with a sac fly.
From the stretch.
Count 1-0.
This is a tough spot in the game right here, but when you're a veteran pitcher and you've seen these kind of situations throughout your career, you step back, you make quality pitches, and you trust you'll wiggle your way out of it.
Bases are loaded with only one out. Swung on and missed. 1-1. From the stretch. Popped him up. Here comes the right fielder. He makes the running play. 2 down. And there will be no attempt to score here as the bases stay loaded with 2 gone now.
Now batting, first baseman.
So now here is Ryan Zimmerman, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts for him to this point in the ball game. Has a look, now the pitch. 2 out, bases loaded. Drilled to first. Oh, and it eats him up a bit. On to first, and that'll do it as they manage to not let this inning get out of hand. So it's 1 run on 4 hits here, no errors, and 3 left. 9th inning coming up. It's the Friars 7 and the Nationals 3. Now the skipper's on his way out toward the home plate area, and I believe that means we're going to have a double switch here. Kyle Finnegan will come on to pitch here, and he'll move into the number 5 spot in the lineup now on the double switch. Jordy Mercer is also into the ball game as he'll hit in the number 8 spot here. Now into the box, Will Myers. 3 at-bats for him in this one, all ending with him going down on strikes. First pitch on its way. A ball and no strikes.
Oh, not sure where that one missed, and I'm not sure the pitcher does either.
A ball and a strike now. The 1-1 home.
2-1.
to 2-2 now.
Good luck with that pitch. That pitch is an absolute nightmare, almost unhittable. Nasty downward action, high 80s velocity.
And he'll strike out here yet again, as it's been a ball game to forget thus far. 4 strikeouts.
Just tied him up with that last pitch. Pretty evident by the swing. Sometimes guys get in that protect mode so much that they're swinging at everything that they see, and they end up offering at pitches that they can't possibly do anything with.
Here's Jurickson Profar. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. The 1-0. Misses, ball 2.
I don't mind him trying to pitch him backwards right there with those 2 early count sliders, but now he finds himself in a situation where he's going to have to come fastball.
And here's a pitch in the dirt, and he's in danger of losing him here. 3-0 now. In the on-deck circle is Manny Machado. He'll bat next. The 3-0 pitch is in there for strike 1.
You maybe get 2 pitches a game where all the guesswork goes out the window. This is certainly that situation.
The 3-1. That's lifted the other way out to left. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now.
Now batting, the third baseman, Manny Machado.
Next, it'll be Manny Machado. Flew out last time up. First pitch on the way, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. There's a fastball pretty close that time, but ruled a ball. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes here.
I'm pretty surprised by the location on those last 3 pitches. The book on him is that he hits the away pitch pretty well, and he just saw 3 in a row out there.
So does he go back out there again?
No, Matt, I expect him to mix it up. Most catchers won't call for the same location over and over and over.
Padres down in order, but they lead it by 4. It's 7-3. Keone Kela, a 6'1" right-hander, will be the one to get the call from the bullpen here.
Roger.
All set for the bottom of the 9th. And at the plate will be the speedy outfielder, Monty Rogers. First pitch of the AB now. And he throws the fastball by him here. 0-1. Right-hander starts to loosen out in the bullpen now. The 0-1 delivery. And he watches a called strike at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
0-2 count, and the pitch. Got him! And he goes down on strikes for the 3rd time.
It's been a rough game for him at the plate. Couldn't get the bat off his shoulder right there, and he struck out twice before that one. So he's going to have a lot to think about when he leaves the ballpark tonight.
Here's Jordy Mercer now, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. The average coming in 257, 1 home run, and with just the lone RBI. A Ball and no strikes. Here it is.
2 balls, no strikes.
Changeup taken for ball 3, well below the zone. Hernan Perez is on deck. 1 out, nobody on. Three and one.
We're going to see him throw that hard fastball early and often.
Set to deal. Here's the 3-1. There's ball 4.
You know, it takes a lot of discipline to watch a pitch like that go by, but on a 3-1 count, he had the luxury of being a little bit more selective up there. Good take and a walk is the result.
Now to the plate, here is Hernan Perez. He singled and scored in his first appearance in this one. From the stretch.
Hey, if you know an umpire has a tight zone, as a hitter, you tighten your zone as well. No reason to go after the borderline pitches unless you really have to.
Now the 1-0.
Gutsy pitch right there. 2-0 changeup for a strike. Good call by the catcher. Great execution by the pitcher.
And a fastball, but he's losing it a bit here to 3-1 now. Trey Turner is on deck. The 3-1 is swung on and missed, and that's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first with 1 down. Into the corner and slicing foul. The next 3-2. And he misses again. Ball 4. And that's back-to-back guys now that have reached base via the base on balls.
And you can tell by his body language that he's beyond frustrated by that call. He's got to be wondering what he's got to do, but the last thing he needs to do is to let it get under his skin. That will only make things worse.
Mark Melanson comes on here looking to get the final 2 outs and earn the save. So now into the box is Trey Turner, and these guys are making a little push here. You have to like the effort despite the odds.
Yeah, you really do, Matt. Look, they still have a significant hill to climb, but hey, they string a couple of hits together here, and all of a sudden this thing feels doable.
He's set. Here it comes. First pitch hack in here, and that's the first strike. Oh, 1. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 up in the zone. To the right side and through, a base hit. And they'll hold that runner at third as everybody moves up a base, and they're loaded with 1 away.
Dan, count goes out the window with this batter right here. It doesn't matter if it's 0-2, 2-0. He's locked.
He has great bat-to-ball skills. There are some guys that just have a knack, D-Row, of being able to get the barrel of the ball, and this is one of those guys.
In now, Juan Soto. As he'll swing and pop it up toward the left side of the infield.
Wow, talk about frustrating. Not
The
what you
catcher,
want to do with the
Alex
bases loaded. A simple
Avila.
pop-up, and nothing productive comes out of that.
Into the box, Alex Avila, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike one. Struggling so far in this one and looking to erase his 0 for 4 ball game right here. Here comes the 0-1. That's over, but low. It's a ball and a strike.
Hey, this isn't going to be an easy save. These guys are making them work for this one.
Trying to hang a 0. Here's the pitch. Swinging a liner toward the gap in left center. And this is down for extra bases. And with 2 outs, this might get them all home. The runner from first crosses the plate. That makes it 7-6 now.
All right, here we go. RBI base hit to cut the lead in half, get the crowd going. You can feel the energy rising. Maybe that leads to an offensive explosion. We'll see.
Into the box now, Victor Robles. 4-1. They'll go to work on getting that tying run home from second. Two 2-0 to the National center fielder.
This inning really feels like it's getting away from him out there. As a reliever, you can't let that happen. Nothing you can do about what's already happened, and it's only going to get worse if you're not focusing on the guy in the batter's box.
The 2-0. And this ball swung on and hit to center field, and this should do it. And he'll make the catch to end it, and the Padres will add one more to their winning streak as this ball game is over. And this afternoon's closes at a 1-run game, 7-6 today. San Diego led this game from the third inning on and never wavered. Yu Darvish earns his 8th victory of the season, so that will wrap things up. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our whole crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, head to theshow.com.